District Chamber of Commerce, and I'm so pleased that all of you were able to make it here today. The Medicine Hat Chamber is very proud to partner with Positive Life Concepts and all of our sponsors and partners in presenting you with the Business Leader Summit. The first, and hopefully we can continue presenting these kinds of leadership seminars for our business community. I want to start off by introducing the chair of the Chamber of Commerce, Milvia Bowman. She was actually born in Milan, Italy, and immigrated to Canada in 1966. She's a partner in business with her husband, Brian Bowman, with Sports Connection, Source for Sports, and is serving her second term as the chair of the Medicine Hat District Chamber of Commerce, starting, actually our fiscal year started in September, so she'll be with us as chair until August 31st. Welcome, Milvia.
That you didn't want to be recognized as an immigrant. However, now I'm actually quite proud of it, seeing that we need to have a lot of immigrants come to our country. So my name is Milvia Bowman. I am the chair of the Medicine Hat District Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is a member-driven organization created to provide leadership and advocacy for a healthy business environment. We proudly represent the interests of the business community, and as the voice of the business for our region, we are proud to support programs and activities that promote and strengthen our economy and social climate. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Chamber, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the 2011 Medicine Hat Leaders in Business and Leadership Summit. We are all born with leadership potential, but exceptional leaders are developed, not born. Individuals that are passionate about becoming effective leaders realize that it is an ongoing process of education, experience, and self-awareness that will facilitate this goal. Business leadership, like leadership of any other kind, needs to be constantly developed by making a conscious commitment to learning and evolving, reaching your potential leadership goals. Whatever you are, or wherever you are, beginning in a leadership position or looking to improve in an existing role, this conference will ignite passion and foster ideas to assist you in achieving your personal and professional aspirations. The impact of leadership in building and managing a successful business or organization is immeasurable. Leaders must make things happen and are the catalyst for business success. They challenge the status quo, are vision-driven, think outside the box, manage through times of change, determine direction, and move organizations from where they are to where they need to be. Essentially, leaders are both goal setters and goal getters. Remember, too, that the positive byproduct of being an exceptional leader is the cultivation of other potential leaders who may cross your path. It is true that successful leaders not only help their organization, but also foster the development of their employees and their clients. A truly successful business is comprised of many individuals who are leaders in their own sector. This is a substantial responsibility to take on as a manager, executive director, or an owner, but one that all great leaders are capable of and strive to achieve. Today you will have the opportunity to listen and learn from industry experts on a variety of topics that will assist you with further developing your leadership skills and encourage you to take action. Many of these experts are from within our own community, a testament to the strong business climate in our region. I have no doubt that this information presented here today and the personal connections made will inspire you to become a more effective leader and to be and contribute to your goal, to our goal of a healthy business environment. In closing, I would like to leave you with a couple of quotes that are appropriate with today's theme. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. John F. Kennedy. Good management is the art of making problems so interesting and their solutions so constructive that everyone wants to get to work and deal with them. Paul Hawken. And this one's kind of cute. The leadership instinct you are born with with is the backbone. You develop the funding bone and the wishbone that go with it. Elaine, get out there. As we're doing this leadership summit, a good leader will acknowledge and recognize individuals who helped them along the way. And today I like to acknowledge two of our staff, Paula and Megan, because they did the research for my speech and in essence actually wrote my speech as I was spending some quiet time away from Medicine Hat with my husband. So I like to acknowledge these two young ladies for doing this on my behalf. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Milvia. I would like to call up Luke and actually also acknowledge Luke for all the hard work he and his team have put into bringing this summit to us. Luke's just going to give us some housekeeping tips and introduce our first speaker of the day, Donald Cooper.
Thank you. And thank you, Marlise, for a great breakfast. Was that an awesome breakfast? We have breaks. So much stuff coming up. Thank you, Milvia. Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to read my notes for two reasons. One on French. Somebody will translate later. I think there's a tape that's going to be put out. And also so that I don't miss anybody. Welcome to the 2011 Medicine Hat Leaders in Business and Leadership Day. Thank you as well for the Esplanade for putting such a great event here with us. Thank you for the sponsors. And I just want to make sure that I go through them because they're really important. We have some of the most unbelievable speakers today. It is such a critical time for business and for business leaders. And when I say business leaders, I'm thinking non-for-profit, retail, or consulting. This is such an incredible time that there's so much uncertainty that it will be very important to have some great topics. We have 7 of the most incredible topics and speakers that we could have. So I want to acknowledge as well, first of all, our platinum speaker, sponsor, Toronto Dominion. David Talk is going to be one of our keynotes as well. He's a chief economist. I think you can get such a great discussion from him. I want to as well acknowledge the Chamber, because when we presented that in the spring, we said, you know, these are the issues that we have in our community and around our province and our country, and they were behind us. And they said, you know, this is a good thing. So we got together with a lot of great people, with companies as well, like Positive Life Concept and Action Coach as well. My friend and colleague that I will introduce you a little bit later with Action Coach, Greg and his team from Lethbridge as well, delivering some great information. With our gold sponsors, I want to thank, first and foremost, probably, our 2 media sponsors, 102.1 CGCY. Can I get some hands up? I know you guys are here somewhere there in the back. Those guys are done a fantastic job. The Medicine Hat News somewhere as well, thank you. We, without these guys to be able to promote this event, this is the first of its kind. It would be very difficult to do that. I want to thank as well Kent Smith and the Smith Group and estate planning. They've given us some great ideas, and they were behind the idea as well. And you're going to hear about Kent. He's one of the keynotes as well on wealth management, and just a great man. EBT is here as well. They're going to have a, you know, they've been behind the event as well. They have some information from a tax strategy standpoint and accounting standpoint. You can look at Raby and Dan probably as a second opinion on where you are with your business. These 2 great men, great topics, and I want to thank you as well. John Hebert with Hebert Cabinetry and Fine Woodworking. They have their area set up with Tim Warden in the back. John has been, and he's here with his team. He's been a client, friends, and just a great person to be with, and just unbelievable business he's running. I want to thank as well K West Contracting. They've been as well behind the event. Great quality people, and I want to thank you as well for being part of us. A special thank you for Procom and TELUS. They're one of our major sponsors. I mean, they, by the way, they tell us linear. They've been behind us as well from a communication standpoint. Just a great friend. So I want to thank as well Tourism, Community Futures, Medicine Hat Human Resources, Local and Girls, SJJ Design for all the great designs that we've had. They're actually gone, but so if you have seen it, you'll see them during the break. 640 Professional Building for their logistic approach. Avison Young, Finley Hand Engineering, Creating Pathways at the University of Alberta for believing as well in the product and the topics and the curriculum that we have. LMT, Smith and Hersey. Simon is going to be here as well to talk about legal matters for your business. Bromwich and Smith, Sandy is also here with his team, going to be talking on the panel about just some really relevant trustee and debt issues. Copyworks, doing all the print material that you see everywhere, the banners that are all over the Esplanade. Donna's done a fantastic job on 13th Avenue, and we can't thank you enough to make this thing reality. And also the Medicine Hat College for believing as well in terms of the quality and the topics that we have. So if I can, before we go any further, I want to thank everybody. I'm asking the real doesn't go around. So it's really important that if you have any business to be done, have a chat with those people that are over here today. I also want to thank the people that came from out of town. I know we have people from Lethbridge and Brooks and Venture Creek and all probably a couple of 2-3 hours around here. So I want to thank you for making that trip, and I know you're going to get a lot of value out of that. I want to also thank, which is extremely important to my heart, because I wouldn't be able to do what we wouldn't have been able to do what we did if it wasn't for SSJ Stephanie and her design crew that did all the brochures and the folders and the images, and our team, Jean and I, Melody. I'm not sure if Melody is here. Melody, are you here somewhere? She's been. Is Melody here? She's up front. She was the one looking after you when she came in. Extreme amount. Like the last 2 weeks and the last 2 days have been a little bit crazy. If anybody's worked with me, you know that it's crazy on a normal day. But the last few days have been really challenging for us to put this together. And also Jean, my beautiful wife, a lot of patience. Rick, Danny, our team at Barb, who stayed behind at the office to make it work. So thank you guys. As well, thank you for the Patio Cafe, who's going to put an unbelievable dessert table. You guys will see, it's just incredible at lunchtime. I did say thank you to Marlise and to Morton for the breakfast dessert, but she's going to serve us. She's going to look after our tummy. Not that I need it all, but she's going to look after us all day. So Marlise, you're a trooper, a good friend. So thank you for everything you do with Tim Horton in town. You guys are always involved in the community. Audio excellence in the back. Audio excellence is very key to this, because part of the things that we're going to do, we're also, once you leave this event, there will be a vault added to our website, and all the presentations are going to be on that, the YouTube, the speakers, the resource, the PowerPoints, the stats, everything that you need to know about Don Cooper and the presentation, everything will be on the vault. So we need to make sure that we have your email information so that we can communicate, because it'll be password protected, and it'll only be there for about 30 days. So thank you in the back to Audio Excellence for orchestrating all that, and also Avery, who's been doing the website design and the password protection. And I know he's out of town today; he couldn't be with us. In the folders. It's really important. Can you hear me if I'm here? I'll say this is a yes. Can you hear me? Throughout the day, this will be a yes. You have a notepad. You also have the event, the speakers, the networking event that are happening. Inside of that, you have as well a request for more information card. Lisa and I and our team will be going around. So if there is a topic or an event or a speaker that you would like to ask a question, obviously we can't take questions during the events. But that's why there'll be a panel at the end. So we will be collecting questions throughout the day. So if you ask questions throughout the day, instead of losing them, you just put your hand up and you put this card up, and Lisa and I and the team are going to be going around, and your questions are going to be answered at the end. So that's very important, those information cards. I also mentioned that there was some colored crayons. The colored crayons are for something that you're going to learn a little bit later, and they're called the BFOs. The BFOs are a blinding flash of obvious. That means those are things that you're going to learn today, but you're going to, for some reason, it's going to sink in today, or it didn't sink in before. It's a lot easier, if I stop hitting the mic, it's a lot easier if you go through your notes after and circle the things with the colored crayons that you have. Trust me, it works. If you see something that you need to implement in your team, in your family, in your business, in your finance, you circle it with a green pen. You can use whatever color you want. But it's a lot easier, because once after you learn how to listen to 7 topics, there are some things that you don't want to forget. There might be also things that you're going to say, you know what, I got to stop doing that. It's not working. Circle it with red. If you hear some things that are about caution, circle it with yellow. If you're a pink person, go with the pink. If you're a blue, because blue is good for you, use the colors to your advantages. It really works. It's a lot easier at the end when we say, okay, we're going to take a half an hour. If you've got any questions, bring them to the sponsors. All the sponsors have little buckets on top of their, by their sponsoring area. If you haven't had a chance, or if you think about it when we're not sitting down, write the questions down, bring them to the little buckets, or get your card up, and we'll pick them up. The colored crayons are for your own notes, things that you should remember. So you get a lot of blind flashes of obvious, and it's going to make sense today. So circle it, make a note of it, and then when you go home, you have something. It's easier to remember. Also inside, you have the information about Donald Cooper. If you find that any of the topics that you see are good and you want to order some material, you'll see it after the break. The order form is here, as well as his presentation. That's here as well to follow up with it. That's a great place, by the way, to use your colored crayons on his presentation. Anything that you see, that you hear, will be as well. If it's not in your folder, make a note of it, and we will make sure that we put it on the website. Also, John has given us a survey form, and so does the summit. The summit has also included a survey form inside of it. It is massively important that we hear of you. If you love a speaker and you thought there was a lot of BFOs, and you go, you know what, this is good stuff, let us know about it, because we want to bring them back. And if there's little value, we also want it. But I think they're all great, but you'll need to judge of that. Inside as well, you've got a notepad to take notes. You know, it's just a little tidy up pad inside of your folder. Tidy up stands for things that I don't yet understand properly. They don't, because that's why we have keynotes. They're going to spend some time with you, and you're going to have a little bit of a few BFOs about stuff. Don't take it for granted. You know what? Make a note of it, circle it, and then you can implement it. And also our sponsors have put some stuff inside the folders. Like I've noticed that, I know you don't have it here, but for example, and I'm not sure where you are, but Keybird Cabinet put a $300, $400, $500 gift certificate. Like, I mean, with some stuff in there. So all of these keynotes, all of these sponsors have put something in there for you to look at. And it's a big deal, so I encourage you to go through the folder. All right, the colored pens, the folders. There's going to be 2 lunch areas. Lunch is going to be served shortly after 12. You can go anywhere you want. We're also opening the 4th floor. Those of you that have never been on the terrace, it's a lunch area. It's a great place to gather. So between the front here and the 4th floor, lunch will be served. It'll be served right in the area here by upstairs for the VIP and the sponsors. It's going to be served by Earls. And here on the main floor, those that are staying here, if you have a VIP pass, you go upstairs directly to the 2nd floor on the cut bank rooms. And those that are staying here, lunch is going to be served by local. The panel will answer your questions. Make sure that you make great questions, and we're going to have 6 panel speakers on all the topics that you need to talk about. Finally, I want to introduce you a good friend, a business coach, a man that has built a great company. Donald Cooper transforms business. That's what he does. And he also transforms business people. He's helped thousands of companies throughout the world to add more value to their customers' life and their dollars and their bottom lines. Donald started his business career at age 6 sweeping floors in a family business for 5 cents a day. Long days, low pay. Excellent training ground, right, for entrepreneurs, Donald? He earned an undergraduate business degree and an MBA from the University of Western Ontario back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Followed by 18 years working at Cooper Canada, the family business. Cooper Canada became the world's leading maker of hockey equipment and Canadian brand icon. If you played and grew up playing sports in Canada, you had Donald's last name on some part of your body when you played sports. At age 43, Donald left the family business to do something a little less corporate, reinventing himself as an award-winning fashion retailer. In just 3 years, he fundamentally redefined customers' experience, for which he received 7 awards of excellence in marketing, service, and business innovation. Drawing from his real-life experience as a world-class manufacturer, retail, and as a business coach, he now helps companies rethink and reinvent themselves to create compelling customer value, clarity, purpose, and long-term profitability. And if I may say as well, great sustainability in your business in unpredictable time. For his unique business content and compelling presentation style, Donald has been inducted in the Canadian Speaker Hall of Fame. His insight into how to sell more, manage smarter, grow your bottom line will inform you, challenge you, disturb you, inspire you, and leave you with a new and powerful way to understand your business, your customer, and your life. Please help me welcome Donald Cooper.
And the cheese croissants are fabulous. I am a connoisseur of croissants, and those cheese croissants were the best I've had right up here. Sneak out if you like. Can we have our presentation up, please? You have main handout here with all of the slides. And as we've already had so well explained, take notes. The slides are all here. There's a little place for keepers beside each slide to make notes. One slide represents a thought, an idea that you need to go back and think more about in your business. Circle it. Pick a color. This morning we are going to talk about the straight goods on how to sell more, manage smarter, grow your bottom line, and have a life. Is that the checklist for all of us in business? Is that pretty much it? Sell more, manage smarter, grow the bottom. This would be the aerobic part of the program. Just pretend you're Calgarians. Put your damn hand back. Little reality check. Oh, by the way, how many people here did grow up playing a sport with my last name on some part of your body? I don't need to know which part of your body. We made some really interesting stuff. Gordie Howe. Who remembers Gordie Howe? Anybody old enough to remember Gordie Howe? Gordie Howe, the fabulous old time when they had 6 teams only. Who can remember when they had 6 teams only? Someone asked Gordie Howe recently, the famous hockey player, Detroit, Redmond. Someone asked Gordie Howe why in his day players always wore a cup but never a helmet. And Gordie Howe replied, you know, you can always get someone else to do your thinking for you. But in business, we cannot find someone else to do our thinking for us. We have to do our own thinking. Very funny funny what he said, but we need to know our own thinking. I work in 40 different industries around the world. About 100 presentations a year, and I'm not an expert on any one particular industry. So a little reality check, just so that you know that I understand a little bit about your business challenges. Managing a business today is tough. It's challenging. Anybody notice that? Another aerobic part of the program. Or you can put up your hand to Canadian wages. And I think it's more challenging for these 5 reasons. Number one, more demanding customers. Anyone with me on that? More and stronger competition. How about that one? Number 3, shrinking margins. You know what? If you have more demanding customers and more and stronger competition, you will have shrinking margins. It just sort of works that way, doesn't it? Increased complexity in every part of the business, more difficult to find and keep great staff. Anybody? Does that just sort of sound familiar? Same damn slide in every one of the 40 industries I work in. People say, only my way of making a living is tough. Every other way of making a living is easy. God's picking on us. No, God's getting around. Every business is tough unless you love it. Some people say, Donald, running a business today is 10 times tougher than it ever was. 10 times tougher than it ever was. And you know what? They're half right. In terms of these 5 things, I agree with them. It's more challenging, perhaps. But in so many ways, running a business today is 10 times easier than it ever was. It's called technology. At Cooper, Canada, we have 11,000 SKUs. Where are my retailers? Who knows what the heck a SKU is? Stock keeping units. We have 11,000 SKUs. If we added a new hockey pant to the line, and it came in 4 sizes and 5 colors, how many SKUs have we just added to the line? 20 SKUs, 4 sizes and 5 colors. Because if you need large red and we only have small medium, we ain't got no pants for you. We had 11,000 SKUs before computerized inventory control. We had bin cards. Anyone here old enough to remember freaking bin cards? We had 11,000 bin cards. We had manually typed invoices. It was a 7-page set, hand-typed on a typewriter with carbon paper. And for the young people in the room, ask the old person next to you what carbon paper is. Carbon paper in between. It was a 7-invoice set, hand-typed on a typewriter. Now, which copy of the 7 set did we send to inventory control? Number 7, the illegible one. And we got these ladies in a room with 11,000 bin cards, and they're going, Mary, do you think that's a 7 or a 9? I don't know, make something up. Our costing department for 11,000 SKUs was one incompetent guy and an even more incompetent assistant. We had no idea how much anything actually costed. And our customer database, who's got a customer database? In our case, it was a Rolodex the size of a Ferris wheel. And there are all these little 5 by 4 inch or whatever cards on the Rolodex. Bob's Sports and Vern in British Columbia, and his address and his phone number. Well, why put down his phone number? Because you'd never call anybody, because a long-distance call was $37 for 3 minutes. Now you buy a global annual plan for $37 to call anyone in the known universe for a whole year for $37. Anybody here old enough to remember coming in early to the office and staying late to make long-distance calls because before 7 and after 6, the rates were cheaper? Anybody? We call this the good old days? You want to go back to that? Well, why not just put an outhouse in your backyard while you're at it? Running a business today in so many ways is 10 times easier than it ever was. But here's the deal. If we do not embrace all of the ways in which it is now easier, the ways that it's tougher will eat us up and spit us out. Are you embracing all the ways that it is now easier? Every business is tough. This is Mr. Beaver. Now it has to be Mr. Beaver because Mrs. Beaver would have been smart enough to get out of the damn way. Women just pay attention better, don't they? Well, they have to. The other half of the population is us. But every business is tough unless you love Mr. Beaver, the symbol of Canada. Now think about this. The Americans have the majestic, soaring